There's only but a few at the bottom we can follow. Who possesses the will to win? Stay 10 toes down, even when the stream begins to thin. What does that actually look like? Hush money. Help us save humanity. Money over negative entities, you dig? Now come join in on this conversation we're about to have with
Miss Finger Fades, aka Channing Finger.
Ah, here in this shared space of respect and gratitude. Thanks for coming to voice your honest opinions because they do matter. So does growth with the ability to agree to disagree. Hush Money welcomes you.
All right, I appreciate you.
Well, hi.
What's up with you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I seen your page a few times, right? And I've noticed a lot of conversations that you be having on there. And I noticed a lot of conversations you actually have with yourself. And I don't even think you really realize you have them with yourself. You know what I mean? And I think it's that you're trying to find some answers to some questions, but I don't know. Maybe you could tell us. But before we get started with all of that, I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Where do I begin?
Childhood.
Childhood. Well, I'm originally from Hickory.
Okay.
Hickory, North Carolina. Um, Shucks. From Hickory to Newton. Then my mom, she ended up going to the military when I was 12. So, well, a little before 12. So I was actually go over to Germany, and that like changed my life just to see culture, just to see that life was bigger than the spot that you're in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though I used to love to read and stuff, and I used to love to read, and I was a dreamer. As always, like, I was just telling somebody just the other day, I used to act like I was on the Arsenio Hall show, and I was Whitney Houston, and Bobby Brown was my man.
Okay.
So,
No doubt. Yeah.
so I was a big dreamer. A big old tomboy. Shucks, and then I ended up having my first child when I was like 15, then 17, then 20, then 21. So, but then within that, it's like I still ended up graduating high school and everything. I had a teacher tell me, was like, how you gonna graduate with a baby in one arm and a pencil in the next? And I just looked at her like, you damn right I am. So that was what pushed me. So I always was trying to go against the odds.
All right.
So,
well, you definitely gave yourself an eye to have a kid at 15, though. So, explain that, though, because there's a lot of people out there pregnant right now who's scared.
Oh, scared. I was scared. So it's like, shucks, it was I know we all got different situations, and mine was, oh Lord. First of all, the guy was way older than me. He was lying about his age. He had came down from New York, blah blah blah, and yeah, cause then, like, you know what I'm saying, it was just like I was young and naive, didn't know. Cause now when I look back at it, I was like, that man was old as hell. You know what I'm saying? But he was carrying himself like he was 19 or something. So whatever, long story short, so when shit hit the fan, they found out I was pregnant. He was able to go back because, there could have been charges and everything. So
which would have been only right. For real.
Like for real.
Still should have been.
So yeah, he till this day he denies her. Long story short, I ended up losing my child. Like, it was crazy because I was calling adoption agencies and stuff like that, abortion agencies and stuff like that, and then it was like, well, they was like, well, you can't. And then like social services, they was like, well, the baby, if the baby hasn't been neglected, abused, or anything like that, then we can't just. There's no reason for that. So, long story, my baby ended up being premature. And so she was breached. Okay. So it's like the day I was supposed to go in for a checkup, they was like, no, we got to get her up, and she was losing fluid and was breached and everything. Okay. So I'm sitting here like, what the hell is going on? But had her, next thing you know, social services was popping up, this and that and third. So my baby was still in, she was a preemie. So she was still in the hospital, and then long story short, they ended up coming in. I was getting visitations on the weekend. Then it was going to be a point to where I was going to be able to get my baby, but I ended up, my fast ass got caught with some dude in the house, and I got kicked out. So then that just from there everything went downhill, and I had to move to Newton. I was in Charlotte at the time. That's when I was in Charlotte. We had came back from Germany and everything. Was living in Charlotte, and then I had to come back to Newton, be with my grandmother. And then I had lost some contacts, this and that and the third, and it was just like you're on your own. Like they're showing that you're not mature enough. Like, it was just a whole lot of stuff with it. Right. So I don't know.
So let's get to your second woman.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we get through. Before we do, did you have to seek any help though to get you through whatever it was you was going through at 15 after having a kid and everything you just um, um, articulated that you was going through?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever seek any help, or did somebody even offer any help
You know
mentally?
what? It was this one lady, Betty White. Her name was Betty White, and she was a social worker, and she
Mm-hmm.
was helping. You know, she was like, I don't even know how I even met this lady,
Mm-hmm.
but she was like the angel for me at that
Okay.
time, like for real.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then how did the second, you know, come
Um.
about?
Again, it was another older guy, and
Mhm. First of all, did you have a thing for older men?
think we all did back in the day.
Right.
Cause like I tell people this, and I might sound crazy, but like that R. Kelly situation, like that was
Right.
normal for us back
It
then.
was.
You know what I'm saying?
Even when I was growing up, older guys was
How
dating
that you
girls
know?
my age and whatnot. Yeah, yeah. You know, but you know what's wild though is it used to be from when I talked to like my elders. It was normal
Right.
for an older man to come and get
A younger.
yes,
Right.
and move them out. But back then though, they was having 12 and 13 kids.
They had a family.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It was
So it
like
was actually like, okay, that's one off my hands, kind of, sort of. You know
yeah.
what I mean? But so um, your second one.
So then it's like I used to sneak out the house. You
So
know, be
you was
sneaking
fast.
out.
Yeah, yeah I had to jump in there.
Call it what it
Yeah,
is.
no doubt.
Hard headed.
Uh huh.
You know what I'm saying? So I used to be sneaking out, blah blah blah. The next thing you know, he was like, I was like, I ain't been having my period. He was like, well, when I met you, you was having a period. Well, duh, I ain't having one now.
Yeah.
You know, so he didn't want to. You know, so that would have been another situation
Mm-hmm.
again. But I was 17 then. So yeah, but he ain't in the life. You know what I'm saying? To this day, like
Mm-hmm.
once we ended up moving, so yeah, a lot of my memories get jumbled because I done got kicked out 1,000 times. So that was probably another time I got kicked out or something.
Right.
But then it's like I ended up getting kicked out again and coming back, something like that. But then it's just like I lost contact with him, but I was able to have my baby. But then by the time I had him, I remember that's when I ended up going to court for my daughter. And then that's when she was like, one of the ladies, she was like, well, she just had another baby. This and that. I was like, how the hell she know that? And so, come to find out, when I had him, they had came into the hospital asking me questions like, "Am I gonna be able to take him home?" And they was just asking me questions. I was like, "Well, what is this?" So, with my first situation, they was trying to see if it was gonna be a repeat
Right.
situation.
Right. So what about your third now?
My third, so so that's my third baby daddy. Now this is my third baby daddy.
Okay.
So by this time, but he's older than me too. But it was like our relationship is on a whole different dynamic. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't none of that diddy, no diddy. So it wasn't on one of those situations. It's basically like he came and helped me up out the streets. I had got kicked out again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So um me and my first son. So I had my first was a daughter, then I had my first son. So my first son and me, we had got kicked out. That's when I was in hair school and everything. I went to hair school and I hadn't got kicked out. And then it's just like me and my
Was you getting kicked out of your home or you're talking about with your parents?
yeah, my mom.
What was you doing? I have to interrupt y'all. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people be complaining about me. I interrupt all the time. I do ad libs and everything. But what could you be doing though to be kicked out so many times and then go back?
And then go back because the first time it was like I was sneaky. It was just like I was just always sneaking out or
So
doing
you was
something.
rebellious.
Yeah, but I wasn't a disrespectful rebellious.
Right, no
I'd be
doubt, no doubt.
sneaky with it.
Yeah, no
You
doubt.
know?
Yeah. That
So,
really wasn't sneaky if you got caught. Right.
so I
Okay,
was.
go ahead. Go finish your story. I'm sorry.
So, but yeah, I got me and my me and my oldest son. I had got kicked out because my homegirl at the time, we were supposed to been trying to get an apartment, and that's when I was in hair school. But then my mom was like, "Don't open the door for her when she come back." And so it was like 12 or something like that in the morning. So I'm like, I'm loyal, shit. That's my girl. You know what I'm saying? I go open the door, and she was like, "Oh, y'all get the hell up out of here."
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how that went.
So is that all you had was 3 kids?
I got one more. Well, I got four.
Okay.
Yeah. So then my third baby daddy. I call him number three. What up, number three? So he's the coolest one. The
You
most
got four kids,
4 kids,
and
three
three
baby
baby daddies.
daddies. Yeah,
Also, you had two by the
by
same
the
man.
same by
Okay,
him.
all right, thank you.
So yeah.
I got something to say, but go ahead.
So, but he basically took me and my son in, and at the time I was I was in the strip club or whatever. So, I was a horrible stripper. Don't. But it was that was horrible. I was in there trying
You
to.
trying too soft, though. You trying?
Look, he was like, "Your homegirl is a hip hop dancer." Like that is nothing sexy. But with that being said, the strip club it did teach me more about womanhood and things like that. But then, like with my third baby daddy, I ended up having my first son with him. So that was my third child, my second son. And then it's just like by then I was like, look, I was always hand my son over to him. Like I'm tired of kids, I'm tired of this. Like what's going on? What's going on? Stretch your damn legs. That's what it is. But other than that, like that was a growing situation for me too, because it's like I was in a home with people I didn't even know. So the first like month or so, I was just sitting there just shell shocked. You know what I'm saying? Like we had sex like hell, but I was still shell shocked because I was around people I didn't know, and it was just Lord, it was an experience. It was a learning experience. But then after that, it's like once I snapped out of that, it's like okay, I'm like back on my feet, getting the jobs, finishing hair school. Then I got my first house, my first apartment. Then it's like I had then got my first house. Then next thing you know, that's when I had like my fourth son. So I was 21 by then, and then here I am, 21. I'm trying to buy a house, and I'm trying to do the thing what I thought was right, the American dream or whatever you want to call it. So yeah.
So, did you have a dad in your life growing up?
No, I didn't.
You didn't. Would you say that not having a father in your life, did you have a father figure?
No.
So, would you say that contribute to the reason why?
I think so.
Do you also feel like you might have been looking for?
Yeah.
Okay. And the reason why I ask those questions, family, is because there's a lot of women out here for real that exhibits the exact same behavior, right? And it is because that us as men are not really stepping up to the plate, right? And I'm not just saying biological, right? Men, period. Uh, it's fading out, and it's fading out dramatically bad. That we're not stepping up, no matter what. Everybody that these kids out here, no matter what, deserves to have a life of guidance, right, from two people. So that's the reason why I asked the question that I asked, so that we all can just start seeing and paying attention that this is not man-made. You know, it's not. You know what I mean? This is bad decisions. You know, so um, transformations, right? What would you say was a major transformation in your life? The first one.
First transformation.
The very first one that actually you can remember that really did something to you. Positive or negative? Because all of them is transformations.
All of them. Shit. Cause I don't know. Cause I don't know. Cause the first traumatic experience to me was like going to court at 8 years old. Cause this man done, you know what I'm saying, touched me inappropriately, and then he was with a family member. It was a family member's boyfriend, this and that third. But then it's like we go to court, and they to the man's dying day, she was still with that man. And
you know, I know some other females just like that. But the parents didn't believe them, and that was the traumatic part for them. That I'm actually telling you exactly what I'm supposed to. I'm a little girl, and I really was either raped or touched, and nothing was said or done.
Oh well, my mama went the hell off.
Yeah, of course. You said that y'all went to court. So, but then the fact that you was 8 though, you know, I can actually see, you know what I mean, the traumatic part of it and not knowing what to do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was just weird. And then I remember my mom was like, "Well, what did we talk about in Girl Scouts?" Like, but when you in that situation, I don't know. It's just like I just went into this shell. It's like I just
zoned everything out.
Went to somewhere else. And that's all I can. Sometimes I'd be like, "Damn, I wonder if I get hypnotized, would I be able to trigger that? You know, go pinpoint what it was." Right. But it's just like I would just. That's all I know.
What about middle school? Just tell us about your middle school days. Just the school part.
The school
What
part.
type of person?
I was quiet. I was always quiet. I was always shy, but I was always a pregnant girl. And
Was
then
it hard for you to make friends?
I don't know why. I was just always so
To yourself?
yeah.
You think that could have contributed from what happened to you
Yeah, I
at
think
8?
so.
You went in this bubble.
I'll just be in this
No
shell,
doubt.
like
Yeah.
don't trust nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Do it's like I
Mm-hmm.
don't. Yeah, so I was always real. But as soon as I got off the school bus, it was like, mom, I was a whole different person. But around other people, it's like I had. Then once I got older, I just felt like I have like social anxiety or something like that.
Right.
So I get around people and I get nervous or my voice,
Yeah,
saying it
yeah.
mumbles, get muffled and everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I think that happened to a lot of us though, because I get around a lot of people and I can't stay for long. I just,
right.
you know what I mean.
And
So
then it seems like now, and I feel like I just be feeling everybody energy, and it don't feel right. So I
no,
got to, I
and
can't be around.
we gonna get to that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because that is on a spiritual realm though, for real. And then a lot of
Mhm.
people that really possesses, you know what I mean, they true higher self can sense that. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why
But
we
I never knew what that was then. It
me
was just
either.
like I just get nervous and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
and I
yeah,
choke up.
yeah, yeah.
So.
I'm gonna tell you what happened to me one time, right?
Hmm.
My mama used to go to church Monday through Sunday. Good
Mm.
God Almighty, that's why I don't like church. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you come home get drunk and then to cuss everybody out. It's dangerous, you know.
Right.
And one day, they were doing a play, and I had to, how they give you a little joint to read, and you got to memorize it right in front
Right.
of the church. She made me go over this over and over and over. It was fluent at home, you know. I
Right.
got on. I had to get up in a little pool pit, and I'm looking at everybody. Look at me, and this was me.
Hell yeah.
I already knew I was gonna get a beating. For
Oh
real. She was
man.
angry. I could actually see it on her forehead. She didn't have to say nothing. You know, little signs that be like, subscribe. I'm gonna beat you. Took that whooping. Cause they came and got me. I just stood there. They came and got me. Like, come on. She was so embarrassed though. But anyway,
Lord.
high school. Tell us about your high
High
school years.
school
Yeah.
again. Still, you know, shy, but again, I was always the one pregnant, man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. And then it's by that time, it's like I start working and everything. I was working, and then that's when I met my sugar daddy. But other than that,
So,
like
do you feel like there's anything wrong with a sugar daddy or sugar mother? I'm glad you brought that up.
um, I maybe depending on ages. I don't know. I don't know.
If
If you're married or
yeah,
something, it's wrong. I don't think it's right in that
well,
sense.
if you're married,
Yeah.
but if you're not married,
But if you're not married and you're of age and y'all both consenting adults,
right? But you're in
then
a relationship with somebody, but you're not married.
even if you in a relationship, like nah, I don't,
Oh yeah.
cause I don't like, I'm not down for cheating and all that.
So
Like I
is it
probably done
cheating
have
though? I'm gonna ask you a question,
Mm-hmm.
just because you just said what you just said, right? If you and your significant other are in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
you're not keeping up with your end of the bargain, but you think because you there, he's supposed to just be there.
No, it don't work like that.
Okay, thank you. I was just
It
I didn't
don't
even
work
have to
like that.
complete it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it don't.
I didn't even have to complete that.
But it don't work like
It
that.
doesn't though. It
Yeah.
really doesn't.
Mm-mm.
That doesn't that open the door though to
Yeah, because because you know what, I think I was that person. I was
right,
just, well, I'm here, you know what I'm saying, and
right.
then it was like, then it's like, oh my god, I just seen it. What was that? The Breakfast Club. They were talking about some April Jones talking about don't nobody want to flew you out no more. Men don't want to get you flued out no more.
Mm-hmm.
Honey, where's your own bag at? Like, what do you have to bring to the table
Mm-hmm.
besides a look or ass?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's big girls, it's ugly girls with ass. So that's nothing.
Right, right,
Like for real.
right.
So,
Yeah.
what was the question again?
Is it all right for somebody to step out?
Um,
If they're in a relationship with people that don't
I
stick up
don't
to
think
their end of the bargain.
it's nothing. If that's the case, there's nothing.
It's
We might
done.
as well
It's
just
done
be.
over.
We might as
It's
well be
sent away,
apart.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering because we talking about sugar daddies.
Hmm.
I actually, what I mean, used to get paid too. You know what I mean, and that's why I asked that. I mean, but I was seeing somebody. You know
Right.
what I mean, but my whole defense was I wasn't getting nothing out of him. You know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't feel like a man. You know,
Mm.
even if I volunteer to do everything, you
Right.
know, and if it's always no, you know what I mean? Come on, man. Why I
That's gonna
always got
push
to,
somebody to go
you
somewhere
know?
else.
And then
So
I didn't even try to go nowhere else.
right.
It just fell in my lap.
Right.
Real
And it
talk.
was tempting.
I
So
never had to go looking. It just,
right.
you know what I mean? And this is when I learned about the brain, right? I study the brain. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I love it.
You
Cause
know what? I was wanting to do my senior exit essay on that,
oh
on the
yeah,
brain, and my
yeah.
teacher said it's too broad.
What?
She said the conversation, the topic is
Yeah.
too broad
It's
for
still
me
though.
to.
It's still something to start. It's spark.
Right.
Yeah. The
Mm-hmm.
brain is very unique. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The brain is the all for real.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that trumps the brain is the heart.
Mm.
You can live without the brain. You can't live without your heart.
Right.
Right. Same thing I say about God being within. If you can't remove your organs from your body, you can't remove God from in you.
Mm.
Mm. Okay,
Mm.
all right, okay, I'm gonna start. That's something different. That's something different. All right, but anyway, what only reason why I'm going in the direction I'm going is because there's a lot of failed relationships out here, right? And these failed because we're talking about kids,
Right.
we're talking about being in a relationship with people that don't stick around,
Mm-hmm.
making poor decisions,
Mm-hmm.
and then men like me that steps up and take in kids because that's what I do. I know that really and truly that's our next hope, the next
Right.
generation. I'm gonna be old one day, and
Mm-hmm.
I want them to be able to respect me and help me to my car if I'm trying to get my bags
Right.
there. I
Right.
want to be that. You know what I mean? To get help like that, so I
Mm-hmm.
exhibit what I want to see. Right?
Right.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
we got to start working on our relationships as black people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Brown people, whatever you want to call us. You know what I mean?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We are the we're not represented by nobody from the bottom all the way to
Positively
the top.
anyway.
That's exactly right. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We're not. And then if we
Mm-hmm.
keep letting artists, actors, rappers, and all of these other people
Mm-hmm.
do it, the rest of the world gonna look at us like we
That's
garbage.
that's what they look at us like
See
now.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So we expensive. They don't want us here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Why would they? If everybody think that we don't have common sense, they think we are like infants. They're only right because everything that we get from people that don't even want to even work with us.
And
You know what
then
I mean?
it's messed up because these stereotypes are thrown in, and people think that that's what you have to be black,
That's
or
right.
you know what I'm saying, to
Oh
be
my
a
God.
black man, a real nigga. Like that shit. Like ever since 12, I seen that. Like I used to think the
Right.
gang culture was so cool, this and that. There,
Mm-hmm.
I used to brand myself and
Yep.
everything. Me thinking I'm throwing up gang signs,
Mm-hmm.
but then when I looked at it, everybody like gang banging in Little Rock. That's what had me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but once in the end, everybody ended up dead, in jail, or crippled.
That's
You'll
right.
be lucky to be crippled or in jail. You know what I'm saying? But who wants to
Mm-hmm.
be in jail all their life?
You're right.
You
Yeah, yeah,
know?
that's true. You know what, man? We failing our next generation because for real, the ones that are out there willing to gang bang and shoot are sort of like our military, wouldn't it be?
Right.
We just don't have no veterans willing to go out there and grab them and train them to pull their pants up, walk with their shoulders square. You know what I mean?
And fight a real fight.
Right? Know what a real fight look, know what a real enemy look like.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But anyway, to get off of that, I want to know what though, what I mean, from like I said, from looking at your videos,
Mm-hmm.
your day to day thoughts, because you go through a lot, and I'll be seeing it, and
Mm-hmm.
you let the rest of the world see it, and I was intrigued by that, so I know that you're an open book.
Right. I
So
am.
we're listening.
I don't know, cause I've always I used to have a diary when I was younger,
Mhm.
and now they call it journaling or
Yeah.
whatever. But I don't know. It's like a lot of things I see, and like a lot of like B Simone, my girl. So that's
Mm-hmm.
if anything, like she's one of the biggest motivators that I have, because it's
Mm-hmm.
like every time it's like we be going through things at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. She's always speaking to me at the right things, times or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Cause say like when the pandemic came, and then the barbershops and stuff was closing down,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, ugh. What's about to happen next,
Mm-hmm.
but she was like, I'm about to be a millionaire, so I'm about to be a millionaire. And she was like, yeah, but she was like, the look in her eyes and stuff and how determined she was. She was scared, determined, and then she was like, I'm about to go get this. And it just gave me hope. And,
Mm-hmm.
and so I be seeing people like her and Tabitha Brown and different people, Wallow, different other peoples, and Chris can't speak. It's a whole bunch of different people, or memes or anything that I see, and it's always inspiring
Mm-hmm.
me. But then I feel like like when I do my poetry and everything, I know this one line I said, it seemed like I could say the same thing somebody else said, but they'd be looking at me like, bitch, whatever. But somebody else say like, oh yeah, that's some real ass shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, depends on who says it. It got to be some real shit.
Right.
So it's just like, and then, oh my gosh, I don't know. It's just so much because it's like, I know I've always tried to be a positive person, even though I was going through some ugly situations. But then it's like when I try to express that or talk that to somebody, it's like they be wanting to push it, shove it up on, like, oh man, that's some whack ass shit. Like, don't nobody want to hear that. And then it's like I used to be telling my problems or this and that third to people, and like, oh, there you go. Like they make it seem like you crying, but it was like a cry for help. Like I don't what and what am I supposed to do next? How do I get over this? How do I get through this? So a lot of that's what it was all these years. And when I'm writing stuff, then I remember the first time I heard the boss, it was like, because I used to write rhymes, I used to write songs. I was writing songs when I was like 10, something like that. I was writing songs, and then it turned into raps when I was 12. I seen the boss. I was like, damn, she cussing too. And so that just made it, I just took it and started running with that. So that was my way of expressing myself, and just going through the pen, just putting it on paper, and just being in my own world, escaping, because I felt like my mom was there for me dearly, but then it's just like I just felt like I couldn't talk to her. I just felt like I couldn't talk to people. It'd be like one of my homeboys on the streets that I could talk to, and you know, that'd be like they can, I don't know, just to get that off my chest. And so it wouldn't go too crazy, but it's never, nobody never really had the answers. Or now it's like you hear more like having mindsets, change your mindset, this and that, the third. Even though I wasn't in church like that, you know what I'm saying, all through the week. But my grandmother, she did used to have us in church all the time. But I don't know. It seemed like it would be like this faith. I always had this faith, but I don't know. It's just like it don't hit the same that it do, like it do now. You know what I'm saying? So faith, and like I don't like to say manifest, and I like to say speak it into an existence. You know what I'm saying? So speaking things into existence, whatever. It's like it hits different now, but back then it's like I knew to like always keep pressing and keep trying to stay positive, and like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but I just didn't know how to get there.
Right. So this platform is not only just for having fun, speaking truth, but it's also for therapy.
Right.
Right. So what I'm saying is, though, you said a lot, but you still haven't really told me what really be on your mind.
What really be on my mind? Yeah. It's like, what's wrong with me? That's what I used to go through. What's wrong with me?
Boom. Let's stop right there.
Yeah.
All right. What makes you think or say what's wrong with me, though? Let's jump on that first, though.
The way I get treated, the way people look at me. You know, it's like I've always felt like the oddball. You know, it's good not to, no, everybody is not the same, but it's like I don't like, again, if I say something, it gets rejected, but then it's like if you're not light enough, you're not this enough, you're not gangster enough, you know what I'm saying, you ain't hood enough, you ain't it was always, I was never it or her. Right. So you've been looking for your solace out there. My what?
Your solace.
Solace. Yeah. Definition.
Your purpose.
There you go. Yeah, and like I don't just my being, just accept and embracing me.
That's within. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is because once I realized everything I done was to impress everybody else, and stop doing that, and start impressing me, I quit worrying about what was wrong with me. You was touching everything about me as you was talking, and I'm a man. You know, for real. Went to prison when I was 16. You know, I've been in and out of jail all my life. 1 year, I was in court every month. For something different, for real.
Right, damn.
I have 21 assault charges. You know, most of them on women. I was that type of person. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care about life. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
care about myself. You know, so me trying to find answers, nobody had answers. You're right. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I stopped you on that. Just to and just to say what I had to say was once I start looking at me
Within.
and start telling myself everything that I was wanting to know out there. Remember I told you that you say a lot in your videos and you're
Mm-hmm.
asking questions, but I don't think you realize you're actually asking yourself these questions. What happens is whenever we start verbalizing, that tongue is dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Your brain, your conscious start bringing things into existence to make you right about whatever it is that you're saying.
Right.
If you tell yourself you ain't shit, guess what's gonna happen?
All a bunch of ain't shit type things.
I mean, I can't take it no more.
Mm-hmm.
Then guess what happens? A whole bunch of I can't take this no more start coming along. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead. I'm keep going. I just wanted to
So
throw it out there.
then once I start like 2020, I think that's what really like that brought everything together. Because I'm always was always looking within and trying to, but and like, but it was like I was yo-yoing. It was yo-yoing. Then at the same time, it's like I was always trying to people please. That's what I had to realize too. Was people pleasing, people pleasing. If it wasn't a dude, it was a friend or a family member. It was or a job. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the more I tried to please somebody, the more I was just losing myself and just going down and depressed and down and out.
You know, a lot of us that grew up without fathers do that.
Mm.
We tend to look out for everybody else
I
because we
don't
want
know.
everybody else's
To be good.
opinion, not opinion, approval.
Approval and
Yeah,
just like it's
yeah,
like I gotta take care of you. I don't
yeah,
want you to go through what I went through. I got to be there for
yeah,
you,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna tell you about me now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but something in me just feel like I'm supposed to damn save the world. I don't know why. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
So with that mind frame, this is how everything's starting to come about. I used to play chess with my uncle, may he rest in
Mm-hmm.
peace, right? That was the only father figure I had on a regular basis that I could talk to was him. And I
Right.
did it through chess, though. We did it through chess. That's how we bond,
Mm-hmm.
right? And once I learned how to play the game of chess, it is a fine tuning of the way of life. The way you move do matter.
Right.
And the way you move pieces really do matter.
Right.
Exactly everything about life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Decisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna tell you what he did one day, right? He came in and he was like, oh, he called me Worm, right? They were like, Worm, man, hey, guess what? I quit being a Christian, man. I'm a Jehovah Witness.
Okay.
I said, you something about the preacher he was upset about, yada, so he went to Jehovah Witness. I said, why don't you just believe in yourself, man, and don't even do a religion? I can't do that. I couldn't believe he said that. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, you believe that you was going to get up and come here and play me in chess, didn't you? It's the same thing. You have to believe in yourself. Michael Jordan would have never been Michael Jordan if he didn't believe in himself. Right. That's all it is. You don't have to have a religion to do that. You know? Mm-hmm. So he hit me with this line. How you gonna get people to follow you like that, to believe in something like that, right? But it dawned on me, right? Because this is me dabbling into spirituality, believing in self, learning energy, how the brain works, and it made sense. Like, because I didn't talk to nobody about it, you know what I mean? But the lady I was dating at the time, you know what I mean? So, being the fact though we had that conversation, everything just started coming by itself. I meet people that's spiritual like that, and some people don't even know they are. Right? They just know that they ain't in the church, they ain't into this, they ain't into that, and they just believe in whatever it is that they do. Right. So, and that's how it started to form itself, right? So we used to have groups that we used to meet together, meditate, and all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Just like they do in church. Right. I'm like, what the hell? That's smart. That'll keep everybody focused on reality. Reality is this. Whatever you decide to do from this point on out is on you. Yeah.
Without the judgments or something. Cause,
right.
yeah, because that's felt sometimes just going to church. It felt like I was just going there to pay for my sins and to be judged.
Mm.
Here, you know what I'm saying? Here you
Mhm.
talk about me, and
Mhm.
then I'm like, well, damn, well, let me go pay so I can be forgiven, you know?
You know what I told somebody one time though, because they talk about we ain't talking about religion. I'm just gonna tell you though what they were talking about the Bible, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's really talking about us.
Mm-hmm.
It's the statement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to tell them, it's like going to church, right? You got a pulpit full of people, and the preacher start preaching it, and the preacher start saying stuff like, sometimes we get upset and we go through something because my rent due, my due power due, my
Yeah.
water due, my feet hurt because I've been standing on them all day on cement. You know how many people are like, you talk about me? That's what the Bible is.
Yeah.
It's easy to do that.
Yeah.
I can write something right now and let somebody else read it. You know how many people out there gonna be like, oh, he talking about me?
Right. I can relate.
That's all that is. That's all it is. They mastered, and the funny thing is that they took it off of pyramids and walls and made it into this book. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's been rewritten 26 times. But anyway, um, let's go ahead and get on your spiritual self. You know what I mean? Let's get on your journey of what it is that you are on now and how you got to where you are now. Like you say that you went and got your hair schooling license
Mm-hmm.
but like I said, I see you a lot of times and a lot of times though you be fighting demons.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain to us what?
Mm-hmm. Cause damn it, I forgot the name of it. I just heard it last night. I had an abortion, and she said that was the demon called more something, more love or some shit. And I was like, you mother sucker. So just learning, cause oh fuck, how do I even explain it? I just remember I'm gonna go to the first experience. I remember being like 7 or something. And like when it be lightning outside, and then the whole sky lights up.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was sitting up on a bunk bed, and I was just sitting there, and the sky just lit up, and I was like, okay. Then I just sat up, and then I'm just sitting there, just looking out, and it's like I always just go into these trances, like in a daze or whatever. But when I look back on it, something was in the room with me. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know that until years later. And I was like, damn, I went back to that moment and I felt that feeling. And I was like, hold on, was that the spirit trying to tell me that everything is cool, And so I don't know. It's kind of hard to really explain it because I have dreams. I get like premonitions and stuff, but then sometimes it's just like, oh God, I don't even know. I really don't. I don't even know how to explain it because like going with the energy, I had to start learning that everybody ain't for me. I'm like, oh, that's why I get treated this way or something. And then you know what really scares me? Every time I go, I've been to a couple of churches, and as soon as I'm not even a member of a church, I'm a visitor with a friend. And the next thing you know, they be like, come here. And then they come out and be in the middle of the hall. They put their hands over me. And the next thing you know, I'm like, about to sound like I'm about to throw up. And then they be like, let it come out, let it come out. And then I get scared, like, what the hell going on? And so then it's just like, it just goes back down. So to this day, I'm still trying to figure that out. So that's done happened to me like 3 times at 3. And then my friend, they'd be like, what the fuck was that? And I'm like, I wish I knew.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is it about me that they want to just come and grab me? And then it's like I have that same feeling. Then you can feel something in your stomach, and then it just feel like you're about to throw up. But then it's like I'm like, I don't know what it is, so I just regress and I just back down because I'm like, what the hell is this? So I don't even know how to explain this. I really don't.
Have you ever had anything that you suppressed it that you never told anyone?
Mm, not that I can think of because a lot of stuff I do tell people or I have told people. So it's just like some of the memories suppressed, and I might forget about something, and then they'd be like, "Damn, I forgot all about that," and like apparently it was a reason for me to want to forget about that, but not.
I ain't gonna say an exorcism or however you say it, but I did have something like that happened to me. I was young. I think I was in my late 20s, early 30s, probably. Yeah, this female in Winston-Salem um, did something to me that ain't ever happened to me before in my life, and I experienced something I never spoke to again. For
Mm.
real. I mean, I haven't. When I say my life changed after that, she really got the demon out of me. When I tell you I would have did anything. I would have did anything to anybody at any time. My mind frame was like that for real.
Right.
Um, I don't know. This individual told me some things. I was like, yeah, right. And really was like that.
Mm-hmm.
And my body was levitating and everything. I could not believe
Oh
it. I
shit.
was locked. It was like I was locked.
Right.
And I was hollering. My body was going up and down, like towards the ceiling, and dropped back to the bed. And
Oh
I'm like,
hell.
oh my
See.
God, as I think about it. That's my word.
Oh.
I felt like Pookie from New Jack City afterwards. I was shaking.
Yeah.
I was shaking. For real.
Yeah.
That's my word. That's
I
my word.
see when you
So
say that
when you
because
say
I've
that,
been through sleep paralysis and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
And I remember this one time since you say that, I remember we had just watched a video about the Illuminati and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then I had this dream and like say that's the TV right I mean the
Mm-hmm.
TV the window that's the window.
All right.
And so I'm laying in the bed in the window right there and then next thing you know it was this witch and she was just looking at me and it's like she was like as she go past the window she's about to leave off but as before she left off her eyes would never leave contact with me so she was just looking at me like you bitch you know what I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
and so I was like I rebuke you
Mm-hmm.
and so it I couldn't speak so when I woke up I was like
Mm-hmm.
so I've had sleep paralysis and stuff like that happen before. And
Yeah.
so mind you, I went to this to the Gullah Geechee tour
Oh yeah.
in South Carolina.
Okay.
So he was telling us that we was at this building and everything, and I was like, he was saying something, and then he said, better known as the Illuminati. I said, I knew it, because it had skulls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, I gotta tell you about this witch. So then I was like, oh, my bad, y'all. So I was like, I'll wait to tell you after the call. I was like, I'm trying to take over the tour.
Yeah.
So after the tour, I was telling him how I saw that witch and everything, and was watching it. He was like, "Nah, don't stop watching it." He said, "You got to see what the devils are up to, so you'll know how to go about what you need to do or whatever." So I don't know, have like weird experiences like that. So as far as spirituality, I don't know. I just always feel like God has been with me. Even when I was with my daughter, I was 15, and we was at church, and this one guy, Pastor Jeremiah, Prophet Jeremiah, had came, and like I knew the sister church from New York had came down, and then people falling out, and you know what I'm saying. But this one lady, I remember she kept wavering back and forth. It was like her body was wanting to go back, but she would. He was like, "Honey, you got to let it go," and she wouldn't let go. So that last night he was there, and I remember I had on this big old dress like it was a moo or something. And then the last person he called was me. I remember him calling me, and I was just like, "Uh oh, here it goes." Like so, he was like, God has been coming to visit you at night because it's like every night at like 4 in the morning, I would just sit up and just be like, what the hell? Like, why am I up? And so he would say something like that. He was like, God is very pleased with you. He's been coming to visit you at night. And then he was like, I see a little girl. I see all these shoes. I see this. I see that. Next thing you know, I just said, whoo, and just fell back. And then I just start crying. And it's like I'm just laying down crying. And then next thing you know, he was saying what he had to say, da da da. And so then it's like all of a sudden it was just like from my head down to my feet, went down to my feet. I just felt something go all the way down me. And then it was like I stopped crying. Then I got up and went down and sat down like nothing ever happened. So, but then the prophecy part of that, he was like, the baby is healthy. My baby ended up being premature. All these shoes. So she was within the visitation. Every time she came, she would have a different pair of shoes on, you know, stuff like that. So I was expecting, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get my daughter, I'm gonna have my daughter, I'm gonna have my daughter, but they never worked that way. I finally met my daughter in 2020, so we finally reunited.
Oh, that's good.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what's up.
Yeah.
You know, okay. Uh, we've touched on a lot, right? I want to touch on mental health.
Mm.
You can have the floor. Let's talk about
I
mental
think
health.
it's funny how it's cool now because it's funny. It's cool to talk about mental health, and that's what I was going through the whole damn time. I was mentally fucked up. I did, you know what I'm saying? Then they talk about postpartum depression and all that. So I'm like, damn, I was going through all that and didn't even know it. Like, you know, so the only thing we know to do is just suck that shit up and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Because even for females, we wasn't supposed to cry. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't supposed to cry. Or if you do, it better be in a closet somewhere. You know, so it was a sign of weakness to cry. So it was like always having to be strong and like And then, like, if I did it, like I was saying earlier, if you do talk about it and say something, people think, oh, why you crying? Why you crying? Get over it. Nigga, I can't get over it.
Right. Right.
So I think it's very important. I think it's very important to talk. I was just saying something about that on the post I did today. Like, it's just to hear a positive word, something encouraging. Like, everybody, quit calling our daughter sluts and whores and shit. You know what I'm saying? You fast ass, like, or you nappy head ass nigga, like calling our boys negative terms and
I
stuff.
just started out with how dangerous the tongue is.
He's like,
that's what we do.
yes.
See, everybody think that we've been cursed. We ain't been cursed.
No, he cursed the ground, but no, we're not cursed.
No, none of that. It's the individual that do the cursing.
Right, with their tongue.
It's in everything that we ever read. It tells you the tongue. I'm gonna hit you with something, right? Because I've noticed that you still you talk to the Most High as if it's somewhere else, right? Um, and if I ain't mistaken, in the Bible it says that the Most High is I am.
I am. Yes, that's been my word late. I was like, just imagine Moses going up there talking about I am sitting. I know Pharaoh was pissed. Who the hell I am? But anyway, but I am.
You can't use that without talking about yourself.
Right.
So that's why the tongue is dangerous. You can speak over your kids, other people's lives that don't know how to reverse that, whatever it is that you don't put on them, and curse them. You know that the English language is
spell.
You do know that.
Yeah.
What kind of books do you read? You said you read, you like to read, and you read a lot.
Yeah, I'm getting back into my reading.
That's good though.
Right now, what do I have? Good
God. Or what is it that you like to read when
I do read? Yeah. Back in the day, I used to like fantasy. Then I'm like, dang, I wish I would have read more of but anyway, more us books. But I used to like to read a bunch of fantasy, like fictional books. But then as I got older, it was like kind of romantic. And then I had this one author, Elin Harris. He was talking about the men on the down low and different things like that. And so I thought he was a dope author. The way he used to intertwine the books and all the characters come together. But oh gosh, I have like off the grid books, garden books I need to get into. I have a book about Hitler. I have a book about witchcraft, some type of witchcraft.
You read the book with Hitler in it?
No, not yet. I got to get into all these books.
I was going to ask you some questions though, because there's a lot of things out about Hitler. That, a lot of people don't really even know. But anyway, I read a lot too.
Right.
And I read mine like going to school. So I might read a paragraph or two out of this and then jump to this one. I
mean, bouncing back and forth on books, and so like I said, I'm because now that I'm leaving these drugs and this alcohol, and like I always got to have a cigarette or something in my hand. It's like, nah, we're about to put that energy somewhere else, something I can benefit off of, or keep making my mind turn and go. Right. So
okay, and being the fact that we're still on mental health, right? So what turned you to drugs, and when you was or
when I was the first thing I did was I used to sneak that gin from my mom's cabinet because I was hearing about gin and juice. I was 12, 13. Then after that, of course, your friends, like I remember we was with the guys and I was smoking weed. And that was the first time, 14, smoking, hitting a blunt, and then hitting a blunt and some Mickey, drinking a Mickey. And then next thing you know, I was like 27 when cocaine came to my life or whatever. And then it just made me feel normal. And then it was like
cocaine did?
Yeah.
Made you feel normal?
I felt normal.
Did you?
I really did.
You know what? When I used to see people do it just regularly, it was like normal. But I couldn't. It's a upper. You know what I mean?
It's an upper, and that made me feel normal.
Yeah.
Because like I'm a laid back type of person, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna say different personalities, but I have different sides to me. I'm very goofy and silly, you know what I'm saying? But I can't be like that around everybody because people look at you like you a clown or some shit.
Right.
So other than that, it's just like, I don't know. As far like now I'm getting into myself, and so it's no problem with me having a conversation with
Definitely.
you. But when I hit that bag or whatever, it's just like, hey, what's that? Hey, you know what I'm saying? It was just like,
but you get to really be you.
I was like, I felt like I was more freer
so
to be
nothing
me.
else even really mattered then.
It didn't.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, but if I'm like on alcohol, like alcohol, like no, it's like I get sloppy with alcohol.
It is sloppy.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You drink too much, and then if I smoke too much weed, it's like, oh, I'm
so weed is a downer.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why people don't cause crimes on weed. I'd rather for you to smoke.
Right, and that's what I tell my boys. I tell them, I tell my kids, I be like, I'd rather y'all smoke. Yeah, oh, they grown.
Yeah, I'm gonna say though. I'm gonna tell you something that's a problem though, for real, for young kids out there that's listening, because I do got an age group from 25 to 35 that really be watching. 65% of my audience is that. If they start smoking weed early in life, it stunts their brain growth. A lot of people don't know that though, because you're not fully matured,
right,
or developed, brain developed.
And hell, that probably was part of my problem too.
And it could have been even me. You know what I mean? But see, nobody. There's no doctors and none of this, lawyers and things.
It was a white guy years ago told me, he was like, he was a stranger. He was like, stop smoking them cigarettes. It's gonna stunt your growth. Well, that's true though. And like, yeah, I've been this height since about 15. So for real,
stopping your height from growing, but everything else about cigarettes is for real. Oh yeah, for the inside of your body. You know, fasting is probably the best way to do that. Yeah. You know, to cleanse it, because it does in 3 days, your body damn near detox everything out almost. But you know, anyway, sometimes what happens is, right, whenever we as peoples got to have an alternative to be able to function around people, right? I'm gonna give a analogy. No, it's not an analogy. It's actually a fact. Your brain can also create that chemical that cocaine make you feel like to be like you need to be. That dopamine or endorphin, whatever you call them. Can create it. Yeah. All you got to do is tell your brain to do it. Right. For all joke, your brain can actually do it. You know what I watched today? I watched. It was on Tubi. People who sleep on Tubi. Tubi have a show on there. It ain't a show, it's a little movie, documentary they put on there, and I think it's called Superhuman. Okay. Where they have somebody go somewhere and you telekinesis. You write down what you see through them. They'll let you know your conscience is we all connected. For a fact, we can right now you're connected to everything in this room. Right. You know what I mean? We in a physical world, but don't know that. That's why I talk about spirituality. Okay. The brain is that powerful, right? That even when you thinking that you just zone out and you go somewhere else, you literally went somewhere else. But you don't know it, because when you snap out of whatever it is, you're still in the same spot, and don't know that for real. You just experienced something. Right. They had people to write it down, right? And then what they do is go and meet the person they had go somewhere that they connected with, and everything they wrote down almost lined up. For a fact, FBI, the CIA, been doing this experiment for a long time. It's called MK Ultra, where they train people to really know how to do that, so they don't have to go to Russia and see what they're doing. They don't have to go overseas. They got people that can sit in there and see what they're writing on paper. You get what I'm saying? But I want to learn how to get professional at it. You know what I mean? But the brain is unique. You know. Yeah. So I'm just saying. The only reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is because we don't actually have to be on drugs to get that exact same feeling. High. You know what I mean? Real talk. I'm gonna tell you something, and this is for all you men out there that have been in prison or done played with yourself. Most men have. I have a woman. I have too. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. The reason why I'm saying what I'm going to say is that exact same thing that you do with the imagination that helps you do whatever to get to that point is what I mean. But if you could train yourself to do that with everything, it'll always come. I feel you. I get you. No, I get the point. Please. But yeah, that's a good way to start it though. Yeah. If anybody out there want to know what I'm talking about or what it is I'm trying to say, the same way that you got to focus and you concentrate, that's the same thing you got to do. But I'm gonna tell you the other part of everything is you still got to put in work. Right. You know what I mean? You can't just sit there and be like, happiness come, happiness come. Right. Like, you got to put in work. And so that's life in general. You know what I mean? It's life in general. You know, so and just like I said about the mental health, right? Uh, the importance of us being able to bond. Let's just get on that part of mental health. Um, how do you feel about what I just said about being able to bond with just people? Period.
Um, I don't think it should. It don't matter what your color is or what gender or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's just we all people.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody can be able to relate with somebody some type of way, even if you haven't been through the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe you might have been through something similar,
Mm-hmm.
or you just never know. That's just like two different cultures come together. I can like this food like comparing foods or whatever. You put foods together and we're gonna make a meal. You know what I'm saying? Put the dishes together, you got a whole meal. So I don't know. It's just that you never know who might have the right answer
Mm-hmm.
or who might have the right word that can spark that thing that you need to hear or needed to fill that void for you to go to the next step because we just so used to. I know I was just so used to just writing down my shit, just writing it down in a rhyme.
I used to be a writer.
Mm-hmm.
This is a long time ago. I used to have about 3 or 4 book bags full of notebooks. You know, I'm a horrible speller. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I can read like a mother, but my
Right.
spelling, I spell it the way it sounds to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And one day, um, my first son or my son's mother, she almost read every last one of them. And I didn't know she done it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But it aggravated me so bad I threw every last one of them in the dumpster. She was mad. She was wanting to go get them out, and I wouldn't let her. She's
You had some gems up in there.
I
It was.
I don't know what it was. I just wrote. I don't even know
Oh
where I
my
came. I don't know where that
god.
came from. I was a
Hey.
street dude. I don't know where that came from. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
you had some gems. She was like, "This is,
I don't know, but I threw them all in the dumpster because it wasn't for her to read.
it was
You know,
yours."
I
But
didn't put it on music. I didn't do none of that.
mm-hmm.
I don't know why I used to do that. I don't know. I had notebooks after notebooks,
Mm-hmm.
fill them all up. I don't know where it came from. I never even thought about. Oh, come on, man! I was guns, dope, different
Yeah.
women. You know what I mean? But I was a writer. I don't know what
Right.
I might able to
Yeah.
do it by myself. I could probably sleep in my arm doing it by itself. But after I grew up, right, and I had a reader, you know what I mean? I would love to bring this lady on, but I know it's gonna be kind of difficult right now, and she really know her thing, right?
Mm.
She gave me a reading, and she really told me that uh, my dad really did care about me. He really wanted to be in my life, and it was my mom who did it. And she told me I needed to go talk to my mom. I went and talked to my mom, and she was absolutely right. My mom told me the truth. That she would never tell him all the way on his deathbed that I was his son.
Oh God, don't make me cry.
Yeah,
Stuff
no, you
not
don't
like
gotta
that.
cry.
Like no
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah. But um, kind of can understand why she didn't want to do that
mm-hmm.
because of her circumstances in the situation she put herself in. But she made my life a living hell behind her decision. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it made hate in me. You know what I mean? And that's why I said when I say about the tongue, the things that she said to me and the things that she used to go through with me made me not even appreciate no women. And that's why I'm apologize again to anybody out there I ever offended.
Ooh.
For real.
Yes.
And I think that's why I want to say about any woman out there for real. You might love this man, right? And this man is just not treating you or doing what it is that, trust me, it's something deeper than that.
Right.
And he just need an outlet. You know what I mean? He just needs somebody that's gonna help him bring out so that he can be a better person from you. And it's usually gonna be a man to do it. For real.
Some that can
Yeah, that's right. Because
relate.
women got a snap about them that will shut a man down like, man, I better not say nothing else to you because I knock you the fuck out. You know what I mean? And if the man really love you, he don't even want to get it that far. You know what I
Right.
mean? But if the man ain't never even had that part of him ever touched on, he probably already putting hands on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just know that it is something deep, and that's why I said therapy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
We need it, man. We need it as people. Period. Do you believe that history is passed down through DNA?
That's what I've been taught.
Do you believe it though?
I don't know. I think we have I think some of the traumas, like spirit, I think some of the traumas we feel. I don't know, cause I'm like, well, what the hell did? Cause I like with that anxiety and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what the fuck did our ancestors? What did my ancestors go through? Where you always got to feel nervous and you know what I'm saying on point. Like besides just running,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Like then I'd be like, well, damn, was like, or in the past lifetime was like I a sex slave or something. Like what the
Mm-hmm.
fuck? Like for real. Was I the one? Cause my complexion was I the one in there making the baby? Was we make? You know what I'm saying? We was in the house making babies.
I'm listening.
Like for
For real.
real.
That's why I asked the question. Do you
Hmm.
not think that runs down through
I think
DNA?
so. I think you
You know,
do.
I mean,
Because
why before we even knew about police violence did we see the sirens and
get you know what I'm saying
uh,
like it's an
you could be
instant.
stone cold high than a motherfucker.
Hmm.
The motherfucker get behind you, everything leaves.
And you ain't nothing wrong.
And,
Like you know
you know
damn
what I
well.
mean?
Like I feel
Oh
like
my
I'm got a bunch of dope. No, I ain't never had no bunch of dope on me, and I feel like I do right now.
And then they go right by you. Why is that? Why is that?
Like,
Mm-hmm.
and then the funny part about it, it's all over. I done went to the Barbados,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like, damn, this feels like being in America again. Because as soon as the dope man, the police came, got the dude selling weed, next thing you know, the next drug dealer come walking up on the scene. So
Yeah.
I was like, it's like that everywhere we go.
Yeah.
They was posted up on the block, just like us. I was like, we the same everywhere.
Everywhere we go. But you know, and this is a fact. You know, what I mean, you know, there's no history of anybody of our color ever committing genocide on any other race.
Now it's to the point where we doing it on ourselves. Like I don't.
And the funny thing is, we can't even destroy ourselves fast enough for them people to let it go. You know what I mean? For real. But we won't cross the line. We won't cause war on nobody. You know what I mean? You know they still capturing Africans.
I heard that.
And
Yes.
they don't got a problem with showing us this shit. You know what I mean?
And then like the little cocoa fields, they still got like them little
Yeah.
kids in the cocoa
Yeah,
slavery
yeah, yeah, yeah,
plantation stuff like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
So do you believe that, you know what I mean, narcotics came up through our own to
Mm-mm.
get here?
I don't think so. I think you know what I seen. Maybe it was Roots or something like different version of Roots or
Mm-hmm.
one of the movies like Roots. But it was like alcohol. Like they enticed them with alcohol. Come over here and you can have all. And then it's like who somebody like I think Beyonce just got a line. Like why is it always alcohol? We are the rappers and entertainers. They're always throwing alcohol and shit in our face.
It's another spirit.
Spirits. So like that shit is getting old to me.
Yeah,
That's why I don't. Thank God I don't even want to drink.
there's a
I don't
new
even drink no
generation.
wine no more.
There's a new generation.
Mm.
It's not about you no more. They can't get nothing else out of you. They can get a lot
Out of the next
13, 12, 15s, 20s. That's
yeah.
our job, though. It's our job to let them. That's why I said that I got to exhibit what it is I need to be seeing out here.
Mm-hmm.
Because if not, they're going to do it for us. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James walking around with a skirt on. Huh? It's
Mm-hmm.
it, it's okay to tell your son it's okay you can be a girl.
That fuck.
It's okay to tell your daughter it's okay to you can be a boy. No, them are sexual preferences. That's not what you are. You know, why is it that we are doomed if we don't control our own narratives?
Right.
Right? Why do we continue to let somebody else tell us who we are? We don't been, you know, we the only race of people that have been every. We don't. Our nationality changes up all the time.
Negro, black, African American.
African. You came from Africa. My mama had me a fried original. What you mean I came from Africa? You know what I mean? And then when I do chase the lineage, they was Indians.
Wow.
Majority of people was Indians.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then they started mixed breeding us
Mm-hmm.
to kill off the DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Breathing forms. Right? Mama sleeping with sons. They don't know they put bags over their head. You know? These are the stories that they want to take out so we don't know nothing about.
Let it repeat itself.
History is going to repeat itself. You know why? Because none of us want to stand up and be men. That's how it was easy to get our our parents to leave our daddies. Well, I tell you what, we're gonna cause something to happen where it ain't no work. We'll help you, but you gotta get him out
Get
the
him out the
house.
house, yeah.
You know what? I remember when that used to happen too in the projects. You know what I mean? Where you been out on me and shoes and everything, because they coming through acting like they inspecting, but they looking for.
Right.
Ain't that wild, though? The worst thing that could ever happen is removing a parent from the child. You know,
And for real.
my daughter was took from me when she was 7, and that was the worstest whooping I ever had in my life. You know what I mean? I could have been jumped by 30 people, beat half to death. Didn't feel like I felt. So when you was talking about it, you know what I mean. I was gonna bring it up then, but this is your story, your time. You know what I mean. I'm glad you came on. But when I say that this is like therapy, you know, it's people out here that need to be hearing and how what it is. How do I get through? How do I get over? And actually, that's another reason why I bring you on, because I want to see you succeed. I want to see you get over whatever.
I
it is
appreciate
that
you
you're
wanting
going.
to even just hear my story,
Yeah, no
period.
doubt,
So
but
for
you know,
real.
it's a bigger platform for you. You know what I mean? You got a nice one that you're doing, and I just want to help boost it up. So when people say it, it's true. You know how many people out here for real going through the same thing, if not worse?
If not worse.
You know. But it's on us to go ahead and give them something else. You know what I mean? The only thing with me is I can't I ain't gonna say I can't. It's hard for me to get up and record myself on a daily to exhibit what somebody else need to see. You know what I mean? Um, I have too much going on for myself. Right. You know what I mean? I mean a lot. You know, and it's bad when you do it all by yourself. You know what I mean?
Trust me, I know.
You know, so it's it's just the way life is though too, for real though. Well, is there anything else though you would like to talk about though and get off your chest?
I don't know. It's just I'm still stuck on that daddy thing.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on that daddy thing. I remember asking my mom. I'm like, "Where my mom at?" I was 12. That's when we was in Germany. She was putting us on punishment, and then she was like, "Dead." And I walked around. I felt like a dog with his tail tucked in between his legs. I was like, So then I was 15, 14. I think I was 14, 15 around there, and then I found out. She finally told me that she was like, "You know him." And I'm surprised if she I don't know if she was surprised that I knew who she was talking about. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, well, he's done dead. He's died. He died, whatever. And I just remember going into my room crying like a little baby. Cause I used to be on that Tupac shit, like that Papa song, you know what I'm saying? I'm so sorry. Anyway, I used to be on stuff like that. And I'm like, well, hell, he didn't love me. This and that. Daddy don't love me. I used to have a rap called Daddy Don't Love Me. And so, other than that, like,
and it didn't really have nothing to do with him.
It didn't have nothing. Yeah.
You see how us as men, we get, some of us are good guys.
And so, child, yeah. So other than that, I don't know what I mean when I even say that. What's the point? But I don't know. Just I guess when we go back talking about the relationships as far as the household and the family dynamic all together, so you won't have your kids out here throw it off and going out here having sex with different people and you know what I'm saying, mixing all these spirits and all that other shit together.
What? I'm gonna change this up a little bit. Because you said the family dynamics, right? Um, and this is a broad statement, but it got some real truths to it, right? Men can make 1 billion babies, right? Women only can do whatever how many eggs get fertilized in her
at a time,
and that's it. Once that happens, though, I don't care how many times you have sex throughout the 9 months, you ain't get pregnant again. You're only gonna be pregnant with what you got pregnant with. How did we get from populating the earth to, I'm gonna just stick with you? Wouldn't that have to be a certain, like, let's get to 35 on up or 45 on up to, okay, now I'm gonna be with you because now I done populated what I need to populate. And how did we get to that instead of not, you know what I mean? Because we sit here, okay, that it is a real problem with abortions, right? Abortion was made for us to get aborted and get rid of our kids, right? Okay, well, I can see why we need to stop because population is leaving. We're not having babies. The insides is getting to it because of the foods we eat. People still going to McDonald's, all this fast food in it. Don't know that what it's doing to their organs. You know what I mean? Nobody don't care though. As long as they can get it right now, nobody care. I don't care how many times you say, even if you eat a fry from there. And they can tell you. They tell you.
They show us the tests and everything.
The
fry don't even burn. It's just still
they
there.
show us. They tell us all the time.
The maggots is coming out of it.
What do cigarette packs have on? Every last one of them.
You know, in Jamaica, was it Jamaica? They even got the skull, the black skull on that thing and everything.
And they smoking like, just like people taking fentanyl. You know, a touch, some people, you die instantly. So, well, I mean, if they're going to make money if you want to kill yourself anyway, that's why nothing happens, right? We warn you.
But you made that decision.
So, how do we fix what we damaged and our ancestors? Now I gotta give it to, if it really was a such thing of slavery, I have to say I can understand why they were so terrified after killing off all our warriors to tell their babies don't look at him in his face when it comes to other people. Right. You know what I mean? Or walk on this side of the sidewalk. Right. Or don't even wave at them. You know what I mean? When they talking, you look down at the floor. I can see why. You know what I mean? Because they beat the fight out of you. You know what I mean? Now it ain't even physical. Huh? It's mental with all the images and stuff that they put out there. So women don't respect men. Yeah, this is what it's all boiling down to. When I started, I was talking about how we used to be out there and we populated the earth. Now I'm gonna stick with you, right? But when I stick with you, your attitude towards men is driving me right back at the door. And when I try to tell you, I don't like how you look at me when you say what you say. Or if I say, well, go ahead. I think people just need to take the time to like. Sometimes it ain't what you say; it's how you say it. You know, I just told somebody that, but go ahead. You know, like that. For real, go ahead. It's what you say because, and then sometimes we have to get out of our feelings, out of our ego, whatever it is, and actually like listen to what the person is saying. Like we got to sit down and just like listen, because if not, it's just like we're never gonna because I'm gonna have right now. Because if somebody asks me what, like I just had one of my homeboys was like, "What you doing? Where you going?" What? Don't like nah. I was about to snap. Wow. Because I don't need nobody who's making, you know what I'm saying? Like, but if you was my man and you asked me, like, it might be a different story. But don't like I think it's all about respect and like just getting out of your ego, out of yourself, and just actually listening, so we can like for real and quit trying to prove your point. Prove your point. Okay, state your point. State your whatever your statement, your claim. All right, now. Now, can I talk? Right. Now, can we even if we got to sit here and write this shit on paper so we can read it, so we can get a damn understanding? You know what the problem with that is, though? Same thing with text messages. We hear it in the attitude. In the attitude, but that's why like we got to both. It got to be conversation. Yes. Verbal. Okay, but you hit a bunch of good ass points. I'm glad we still talking. One is we need to have verbal conversation, right? We do need to learn how to give each other a chance to be able to get out everything that you want to say without. I'm an ad lib. I know that's one of my problems. You talk. I can't help that. I don't know why I do that. I even do it in here. You get what I'm saying? But you're absolutely right. The respect level. Yes. You get what I'm saying? But what I've learned as a man, women are aggressive. Yes, we are. Yes, but we can be. The thing is, and then you don't have to be though. You know what kryptonite is? You know how Superman get around kryptonite and he get weak? You know women have kryptonite in them that makes a man weak. You know what it is? When y'all feminine. And I would, I just put a post up about that. I would love to know what it is to be in my
energy. I really would know. Without that meaning sex, without that meaning being a stripper, without, you know what I'm saying? I would love to, without that meaning I got to dumb myself down and yes sir, like no. I would love to learn what that the fuck that feel like.
Can I give you a story?
What's up?
Pipe all of that down.
Yeah, and so it,
I'm just saying. Okay, yeah, for real. All jokes. I just had this conversation.
Yeah, for real, for real.
Whenever you and your mate are get ready to be into it, you know how you could get him to shut up. It's been feminine. You know, you really just hurt my feelings, Ron. How do I hurt your feelings now? I'm gonna let you finish talking, and when you finish, I'm gonna let you know. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That ain't belittling yourself. That ain't making yourself feel like you out of, you ain't got no say so. But with you doing that, because if you do like, what you talking about right now, you just hurt my feelings. Huh? You see the difference?
That's kind of the energy. I'm gonna smash your energy.
What are men?
What you mean?
We are warriors.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. So now you ain't talking to me like you a woman. You talking to me like you a nigga what?
It's war.
Right?
It's war.
Right? Well, that's why I'm gonna get my point out. I ain't gonna just stop because you got them louder than me. Right? Right? But if you stayed in your feminine the whole time, eventually I'm gonna pipe down to the point where I'm gonna shut up. I gotta hear you.
All right.
For real. And any man that don't respect the feminine, then you just need when he done, like I hope you done, so you can go ahead and leave. You know what I mean? Because I know whatever I say, you ain't gonna listen to anyway. Right. I'm not cussing you. I'm not louder than you. I'm not disrespecting you. I don't let you get everything you done had out to say. Mm-hmm. And not one time did I do anything to make you feel out of place. Exactly. Right? Mm-hmm. Women don't know how to do that no more. Shit. You know, I talked to a lady a couple of days ago, right? And I was like, I met her. I was like, yeah, I got my own podcast. Why don't you go on there and subscribe? She said, well, I'm gonna look at it first. I said, well, then do that. That's what I need you to do. Even if you don't like it, just subscribe to it and just give me some constructive criticism. Right. Oh my God. Well, I'm gonna tell you what you need to be doing. Oh my God. But I didn't say nothing. You know what I mean? She ain't always in your face. I've been feeling like you throwing blows, right? So, you know what she is? She said, I feel like, something I just said done touched your nerve or something. I said, I'm calm. I'm like, it ain't nothing you said that touched my nerve. But the way you said it, have anybody told you aggressive? And by that, because this is what I do. I can read people. Right. When I read her, I told her all about herself, all the way down. I have heard that. I said, well, then that's a sign. You keep being told the exact same things over and over. But you're not listening. You're not taking heed. We were just talking about that. That's why I had to revert back to that. You don't even want to change. You don't want to change. I am the way I am. That's some bullshit. I don't like when people say that I'm stuck in my... Nah. Well, I'm just being authentic. Stuck over there by yourself. I'm just being authentic. That's not authentic. Nah, that's authentically rude and nasty. Thank you. That's all I was wanting to say, though. But you're right. You're absolutely right, though. But yeah, when women are on their feminine, especially high feminine, man, it's kryptonite. We love that. Don't give a damn how ruthless it. If y'all ready to talk to us and y'all come to us and y'all feminine, what can I do to fix this? Huh? Oh my God! I just gave a secret out there. You know what I mean? Don't go yell this. No, for real, because I done had situations where I could see this one situation. I'm just like calm. I'm just listening, but it's like they was antagonizing me. They wanted me, so that's a whole different species. But yeah, I appreciate that because I really. But that's also something else too, though. You know why? Because in the back of our mind, once you flip, I already know it. I know that. You know what I mean? But once you start studying yourself and practicing on how to, maintain yourself as a woman, we gotta eventually respect that woman. You know what I mean? All jokes. Right. But if we can get you to snap back, then you ain't that woman no more. You that nigga. Right. You know what I mean? I'm tired of being in. Yeah, for real. Yeah. And any men are just tired of. We tired of being niggas. You know what I mean? For real. God damn. I want to be a man for a change. Right. Man and I want to. You know what? I want a relationship where I can't wait to get home. And no, I'm gonna have my peace. And I don't want to be your peace because you trying to cheat or you that'd be some bullshit too. No, but other than that, I feel what you're saying. Damn, be ready to I'm gonna go to my person. We're gonna talk. We're gonna cuddle. We're gonna act like laugh. We're gonna laugh. This is what happened today. Oh my God! All the way till we go to sleep. I don't want to be in there and we both on our phones.
Yeah, or then trying to ignore each other,
Why
or
though?
feeling like you got to be walking on pins or eggshells and shit
So
like
what
that.
makes a
So
relationship get to that point though?
I don't toxic. I don't know. I guess not knowing who the fuck you dealing with. First of all, not getting to know people. I had to realize my faults in a relationship. I don't know you. 3 months. It's like my shit lasts 3 months. The first it be lust, lust, lust. Then it's like okay, yeah, you see the red flags. It's that third. Then the third month, it's like look, mother sucker, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Ready to cuss you out. So I had to learn. You got to get to learn a person. Like when they say court in the person, you got to like literally because this new shit like it ain't nothing but lust. Ever since the 90s, it's been a bunch of bullshit.
Well, you know that we are getting older,
Yes.
right? So, what is the kids exhibiting when they see us not even being family or in relationships? What do that say to a kid? What would you think if you was a child?
Mm-hmm.
And, well, you can say as a child. What did you? What was that to you? Was your mom? You said you didn't have no father figure.
Like
So what was that to you? What did it become normal? Like to feel like
I don't know. It's and then I'm thinking I'm kind of delusional because I craved that. And then I'm like, what it was it the music that made me crave it? But I literally had this conversation with myself like 2 days ago. Like, what is it? I don't know. I wish shit. Like I wish I could have that. You know what I'm saying? Like that old school
yeah.
love foundation, stuff like that. It ain't like I can be like a family anymore, but like, like as far as raising a family, it ain't like I done missed that mark, but I don't know.
Mm. Then you know what? You know what though? No, no. I'm going. The tongue is dangerous. It might not be able to produce out, but you can always make things be like a family. You know what I mean? Even because there's a lot of kids out here that what I just said.
That yeah,
All
true
jokes.
that. True
You
that,
know what?
yeah.
I've done that in my life. This is the reason why I know. I It's a lot of already made families out here.
Mm-hmm.
It's very rare now that you can meet people that don't have no kids. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so I make them my family. You know, that's what kind of man I am, though. You know what I mean? If I come, even when I'm rude, you know what I mean? Even when I'm a not nothing ass nigga back in the days, when it came to the kids, I still made them like these are mine.
Right.
You know. And after I'm gone, every time I be around them, same type of kids, they still my kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so let's not say that, you know what I mean, that era's, let's not. You
Hmm.
know, we just got to start watching how we live. You know what I mean? Start investing better in better people.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
that's what's up, though, man. You know, I enjoyed your time, man.
Okay.
For real, man. You did
Likewise.
good, man. For real,
Thank
all
you.
jokes, man. And I'm glad that you was really energetic and wasn't afraid to speak your truth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But tell them again what it is that you do and how they can contact you and find you.
Well, you can find me on shucks on different kind of platforms. On TikTok, I'm Miss Finger Fades. Facebook, I'm Danyelle Channing Finger, and yeah, those are my main ones. Instagram is no, just do my TikTok or Bootsky Miss Finger Fade Styles .bootsky.com. There we go.
MissFingerWaitBootsy.com. That's right. That's what's up, though. That's what's up. You know, little words of advice before we end this whole thing. Let's try to build families again. Let's love each other. Let's start putting our significant others first. You know, what I mean, male or female. Um, just know that peace comes within. You are responsible for your own
Mm-hmm.
mental. If you allow anything outside of yourself to dictate how you feel about yourself, that's on you. But until next time, holla.